Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. Thank you so much for joining me once again, and thank you to miskatonicbooks.com for sponsoring the show. Miskatonicbooks.com are a fantastic resource if you're looking to find difficult to find esoteric and occult books that maybe have been out of print for a while. Alternatively, books that have recently been released by independent publishers. Miskatonicbooks.com are the best way to get your hands on those, and they've also recently started doing courses. And I told you last week about the God Song by Jack Grayle. Well, I got some interesting news this week. I'm just showing you some of the lovely books that you can typically get through Miskatonic Books. Just a few examples over here. But yes, let me draw your attention to this post by hexencvult, and this is the model that you can see on the front of Jack Grayle's latest book, Sigils and the Mist. It's Clara Wolf, and she says that this upcoming April, follow me down the well, under the berg, and up into the clouds, Catabasis and beyond. We are going to immerse ourselves in the magic of Frau Holle. I'm so proud to finally announce that I'm joining esteemed teachers Jack Grayle and Shay Bilé as the third inaugural faculty member at Miskatonic courses, the newest opportunity to study esoteric, the esoteric from Miskatonic books. Meet me at the mountaintop of On Walpurgisnacht. I'll take your hand and lead you to the hollow places governed by this mysterious goddess. We'll get to know her outside of the pages of Grimm's and discover the nature of her power through direct experience that is guaranteed to change you on a visceral level. Sounds very exciting indeed. So this is happening in April. I'll definitely be looking forward to reading more about that. News from Theion Publishing. Oh my goodness, folks, I'm so excited for this. Peter Mark Adams's next book will be published through Theion Publishing. Peter Mark Adams has written some of my favorite books from the past few years, and his next one is going to be on the mysteries of Mithras, so ritual and epiphany in the mysteries of Mithras, from acclaimed author Peter Mark Adams, renowned for The Game of Saturn, Mystère Hagia Sophia, Sanctum of Kronos, two esoteric tarots with Christophe Poncet, and The Power of Healing, the Healing Field, comes a landmark study that redefines our understanding of Western Europe's most enigmatic mystery cult. I cannot begin to tell you how excited I am for this one. It's just the best news that I've read in a very, very long time. Let's have a little further read. Ritual and Epiphany in the Mysteries of Mithras takes readers deep into the heart of the Mithraic mysteries, offering a profound exploration of the cult's ritual practices and transformative vision experiences by blending cutting-edge scholarship with first-hand accounts of mystery initiations and contemporary ethnographies of ritual performers. The author provides an unparalleled glimpse into this ancient tradition. I can't think of a better suited author to take on the Mithraic mysteries. I am super excited. All right, we've got news from Black Letter Press, and I've just put my order in because when the Kickstarter was announced, I just didn't have the funds for it. But I've just put my order in right now. The Hypnerotomachia Poliphili in 2 volumes, the original work in Latin, and then Paul Summers-Young's translation. This is now available to pre-order, to in fact purchase, in a hardcover double volume or in paperback. Also, it's also available as a 2-volume paperback for €70. Very, very reasonably priced. We've been waiting for a long time for this one, and it looks like the wait has been worth it. I'm really, really looking forward to getting my hands onto this one. So this, let me give you an idea if you don't know what this is. enormously influential, yet stubbornly enigmatic. It's a jewel of historical literature and a rare entity in terms of its form, quality, and depth of content. This is for all those interested in typography and type design, for enthusiasts, design historians, collectors, and researchers. Hypnerotomachia Poliphili is as much an essential historical work as it is a piece of art. So this was the basis for the novel The Rule of Four, which came out quite soon after the Da Vinci Code, and everyone was kind of hoping that the Rule of Four was going to be the next Da Vinci Code. It wasn't quite as gripping as the Da Vinci Code, but it certainly gave people an idea of how mysterious this particular book happens to be. And I don't know, maybe picking it up in 20 years or so later might provide some insights that I couldn't grasp from it when I was originally reading it. I don't know, maybe it's worth looking into that one once again. So that's very exciting news from Black Letter Press. Next, we've got news from Hadean Press. They've got a new guide to the underworld, the Astrological Sigils of Arnaldus de Villanova. So let's see, the work offered here is a remarkable application of astrological magic and Christian prayer for medical purposes. In this concise treatise, Arnaldus describes the construction of 12 sigils or seals to be inscribed upon rounded medals of gold or silver, corresponding to the 12 signs of the zodiac. The present translation is taken from the text given in the compilation entitled Opera Arnaldi de Villanova, published by François Fardin in Lyon in 1508. In consultation with the selection of Arnaldus's writings entitled Tractus Vari Exoterici ac Chimici, published by Jean Stratius in Lyon in 1586. It's hoped that this work will provide a clear and useful insight into the details of the use and construction of these astrological sigils, whose efficacy, was held in such high esteem by the most learned and powerful persons of the late Middle Ages. A very exciting little pamphlet, little tract, available for £4.99 directly from Hadean Press's shop, or you can get the EPUB version for £1.99. Very, very cool indeed. There was news from Adam McLean, who was saying that due to his age and the development of a rather serious health condition, sorry to hear that, Adam, I have decided that I can no longer bind up copies of the Magnum Opus Hermetic source works. I will instead gradually convert many of these into Amazon print-on-demand paperbacks. It will take some time for the books, as the books have to be considerably reformatted for the Amazon system. I have 4 titles now available. The Magnum Opus Hermetic Source Works was a rather enormous collection of beautifully bound hardcovers edited by Adam McLean, not necessarily all translated by him, but they are kind of essential alchemical works. And so we're going to be seeing those converted into print-on-demand books by Adam, which is very cool. But if you're looking for the originals, Lewis Masonic recently announced that they've got an entire collection of them that are available to purchase directly from their website. So you can just take a look around and see if there are any of these brown-covered books, right? For example, the Heptarchia Mystica of John Dee over here. Just to give you one little example. Dates of publication seem to be from the 1980s until current day, really. There's quite a lot of material there. So if you're interested in the originals, Lewis Masonic are the place to go now. Good. We've got news from Haus Nostromo, who are now holding copies of books published by Hildir, and here are some of the examples. I'm not sure where they're based. You can see the price in US dollars over here, but that's because I've chosen United States in the top. You can pretty much choose any location and currency that you like, and that's cool. But I just don't know where hausnostromo.com are actually based. The fact that it's HAUS Nostromo tells me that there's a possibility that they're based in Germany, but I'm just not 100% sure. So they definitely have some very, very cool stuff. If you have a look, they've got some really, really nice books, really, really nice decks, I think many people watching will have a lot of fun looking into those. Yeah, just to show you a few more of these Hildir books. I think some people might find these of interest. There we go. A few books from Amazon, so let's have a look. We've got this Sefer Get HaShemot, the book of the divorce of names, the language of prophecy, the collected works of Abraham Abulafia. So this is Abraham Abulafia. This is volume 2. Volume 1 is also available. I was hoping that I might find volume 1 just directly linked, but no. But it's very, very simple. If you just search for the collected works of Abraham Abulafia. Yes, not like that. There we go. Is that going to work? Yes. So the first one being The Life in the World to Come, which I think I told you about last week. All right, so it makes sense. I was wondering why did I bring up volume 2 instead of volume 1? But yes, I told you about volume 1 last week. Volume 2 is also available, so that makes sense. Volume 2 being this one over here, the Book of the Divorce of Names. It also just looks very cool. I'll let you read through the description of the book in your own time, but certainly Abraham Abulafia is one of those essential names in Kabbalah, and it's very, very cool to see new translations of his work. The second book that I wanted to show you this week is this one, Magick and Religion in the Ancient Mediterranean World. Now, I somehow missed this one coming out back in November of last year, of 2023. The reason this one caught my eye is because I was doing a bit of research on Christopher A. Faraoni, who's... The Greek and Egyptian Magical Formularies, Volume 1 has been out for a little over 2 years, maybe almost 3 years now. And I saw in a bibliography, I can't even remember where it was. They were talking about Volume 2, not yet published, expected 2024. Well, it's 2025 now, so I'm thinking that maybe we're getting close to Volume 2 of the Greek and Egyptian Magical Formularies, which would be very, very cool. And then I saw this, Studies in Honor of Christopher A. Faraoni, and I thought, what? Has something happened? But no, nothing has happened. It's just that this is a cool book dedicated to the very much alive Christopher A. Faraoni, teacher at Berkeley University. This book. It's a Routledge Magick book, and obviously it's going to be of high quality and very high price. That's what you can expect from Routledge. This volume explores aspects of ancient magic and religion in the ancient Mediterranean, specifically ways in which religious and mythical ideas, including the knowledge and practice of magic, were transmitted and adapted through time and across Greco-Roman, Near Eastern and Egyptian cultures. So I think that anyone interested in the Greco-Egyptian magical papyri, also known as the PGM, are going to be very interested in this particular book. Whether we can all afford it or not is another question. But yes, it certainly looks very cool indeed. Once again, links down below are all Amazon associate links, which give me a small commission at no extra expense to you. And so I just want to say thank you to everyone who does take the trouble to use those links that I provide in the description of these videos. Thank you. It means a lot to me, and it makes a big difference to my day-to-day life. So thank you very, very much for those of you who do. So links to that, as to everything else that you're seeing down below. Okay, and then finally, the complete story of the Grail. Again, this is an old book, but it's something that I'm particularly interested in right now. I was looking for just some authoritative sources on the Grail narrative, and I've been able to find, obviously, Chrétien de Troyes wrote the first narrative known about specifically the Grail, right, in his story, Percival. But he didn't finish that story. And so I bought this complete works of Chrétien de Troyes in the, it's called the Pléiade edition, and it's a lovely leather covered with stamped with actual 24 karat gold, really lovely stuff, but it literally only has Chrétien de Troyes' bit of the Percival story. And so there are several continuations that were written subsequently in the style of Chrétien de Troyes, and they're not in there. So I was looking a little bit around, and I found this, the complete story of the Grail, and it's too expensive. I can't afford the hardcover, but then I had a look at the comments down below that were saying actually the hardcover doesn't look very good. Where is it? I can't. It's a lot more. Okay, I'll avoid hardcover version. In hardcover version, the text starts from within the gutter, the point where the pages meet. Soft cover version seems okay. You know that I'd much rather have a hardcover than a soft cover, even though the soft cover is still, almost $60. It seems like a lot of money. But then I found the Audible edition, and it's read so beautifully. Oh my goodness. And of course, because it's an oral tradition, it's kind of the way it's supposed to be experienced anyway. And I've just been really enjoying listening to the complete story of the Grail. It's this exact translation by Nigel Bryant. There we go. And it's just beautifully read and characterized, and all the characters have got their own little voices and accents, and it's just really entertaining. And it's kind of funny because the narrative itself is very much like a superhero, DC or Marvel superhero adventures, and then there's going to be this weird dreamlike sequence in which the Grail and the lance that bleeds appear in this kind of weird situation, and invariably the hero fails to ask about it, right? And then terrible things happen because he's failed to ask about it and what the significance is, and so on and so forth. It's very it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Anyway, that's kind of what I'm into at the moment, having also picked up what's known as the Vulgate cycle, the actual. So these are. It's called Le Livre du Grail. It's translated into modern French, but it also has the original medieval French in it, and that's fascinating in its own right. But it's slightly later. I think it's let me see. I think it's 13th century, whereas Chrétien III is 12th century. I think that's right. I may be off by 100 years or so, but yeah. Anyway, it seems to be the only way to get the continuations, not just Chrétien III's version, but the actual continuations of the Percival story. Because the continuations actually give you more clues about what it's all about and stuff. Very, very cool indeed. The Audible version. Great stuff. Okay. All right, let's move on to news from Lon Milo Duquette, who is giving a masterclass in Enochian Magick. So this is happening in Joshua Tree in March of 2025. It's the 5th, 6th and 7th of March. If you're interested in ceremonial magic, scrying, deep meditative practice, personal connection with the ancient and divine, and ready to speak the language of the angels and summon spirit, then join Lon Milo Duquette at a stunning secret location in the most jaw-dropping part of the Joshua Tree Desert. A surrender to the deepest spiritual and angelic current in your core, so you can be a part of the mystery and gain a higher perspective. How cool would that be? How cool would that be? So, yeah, there's all the details down here. You can find out all about it. It just seems so cool. Are you ready to experience angelic presence? Blah blah blah. Absolutely. I would like to reserve my space. Yes, I would like to. Oh dear. Vision in the desert. Yeah, immersive 3-day workshop helps you better understand, touch and practice the profound magical system developed by John Dee and his clairvoyant associate Edward Kelly in the late 16th century. I think anyone who has maybe picked up this is the new edition, the Enochian Vision Magick, then by Lon Milo Duquette, will be very interested in this course. And no doubt anyone who hasn't picked up Enochian Vision Magick. But anyway, for those of you who, like me, are unlikely to be able to pick up this course, then that's a kind of a second best option. You can pick that book up. There we go. Oh, yeah. So anyway, have a read of the whole thing. Then I just wanted to draw your attention to Miss Lollipop's bookshop, which is available at bookshop.org. Now, for those of you who are in the know, this is the bookshop of Elsbeth Barthold, who is the owner of Hadean Press, and she's got a little bookshop in the north of England called Miss Lollipop's Bookshop. And if you've been following the recent horrific news from I don't even want to say his name, from the author of The Sandman, then you'll know that possibly that that he plagiarized, well, at least was heavily influenced by the work of Tanith Lee. And so we've got an entire collection of Tanith Lee books that you can order directly from Miss Lollipop's bookshop, which is very cool indeed. But that's not all. There's lots and lots of great stuff. This is one that I can't find it. I can't find the excuse to pick this one up, but I really want to. The Wood at Midwinter, and many others, right, including some books that I've heartily recommended already on my website. Yeah, as you can imagine, it's all really good stuff in this little shop, which has an online space. Very nice. I wanted to draw your attention to this. So this is a Polish version of the Thoth Tarot, and most of you have already clicked over to the next segment. But there's a reason why I'm pointing this one out to you, is because these cards are fully newly created based on the original paintings by Lady Frida Harris, and you can see that the colors are they're just a lot more vibrant than what we're used to, you know, and that's because they're based on completely new scans. This is the highest quality that we've got so far on the market of the Thoth Tarot. The only problem for many people is going to be that all the words are in Polish, right? So głupiec, of course, is the fool, and sztuka being art, and so on and so forth. So, of course, if you know the Thoth Tarot very well, then go and check it out at lashdalpress.com. I've got links down below, of course, just to see the original art, right, in all its glory. It looks absolutely beautiful. 175 zlotys is what? That's around $40, something along those lines. 40 US dollars. Yeah. So yeah, go and check that out at the links down below. And a nice little shop that I spotted called Urban Mystic Art. Explore the mystical art. There's a really nice little Etsy shop. Check out these designs, folks. I really like these. Let me see if I can maybe find... if I do go over to the Etsy shop, are we going to get some closer up pictures? Yeah, talk of the Grail. Okay. There's some really nice designs. This is a talented artist with an eye for esoteric design. Some nice stuff, right? So yes, I'll just let you peruse at your leisure. Just you'll be able to see all the stuff up here at home. There's a really nice Instagram page connected to the artist. Very nice indeed. There we go. And then finally, my board game of the week is called Malediction. And yeah, this one caught my attention because it seems to be something like Magic the Gathering, just with minis and cool terrains. You're sorcerers and you're building up various spells and a collection of spells that are congruent amongst themselves, right? In order to battle other sorcerers. And yeah, there's some really nice miniatures, but instead of just selling you a massive box of miniatures that you may never use, they are selling you a load of STL files so that you can 3D print them yourself as and when needed. which I think that's really nice as well, because it avoids shipping costs, and it avoids, well, it's not great for people who don't have a 3D printer, of course, but I think it's actually quite a nice solution for for bringing costs down, and for avoiding, having huge boxes full of stuff that you actually don't necessarily need. These are really, really cool miniatures, terrain miniatures, and you get an idea for the cards. You can see it's kind of Magic the Gathering style, isn't it? You're collecting cards that are going to improve your powers and stuff, and you get to do battle against someone who's just of a different faction, right? This one seems a little bit more mechanically influenced, some tech anyway, and then this one maybe a little bit more mythological, etc., etc. I just think that's pretty nice. So there we go. That's what's it called again? It's called Malediction Miniatures Card Game. There we go. Okay, folks. Well, listen, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found one or two things that caught your eye, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It really helps, and to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you'd like to have a one-to-one chat with me, then there's links down below where you can just spend 1 hour with me on a video conference call, chatting about whatever makes sense to chat about, to talk about your spiritual progress. If you want some book recommendations, we can do that. Or if you'd like me to read your tarot and examine with you where your life is going, your spiritual life, your magical life, and so on and so forth, then the links to do that are down below as well. Thank you so much for watching. If there's anything that's caught your attention actually that I might have missed, leave a comment down below. In fact, leave a comment down below whatever it is that you'd like to say. Comments really do help these videos to get seen by the algorithm and sent to other people, and it really helps. So thank you very much to everyone who does take the trouble to leave a comment. And I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll wish you all the best, and take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye bye.